And we are back as we gather once again. Hi, TV family. It's good to see you. It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Thursday, 14th day of July, 2022. We got a busy show for you today. Lots happening around the Wenatchee Valley to touch on. How about those Mariners? 10 in a row. Longest winning streak in a couple of decades. They're looking good. They dispatched the Nationals without too much difficulty. Doubleheader yesterday. Feeling pretty good. 4 more games before the All-Star break. Might be one of those scenarios where they don't want the All-Star break. They're playing so good, they want to keep playing baseball, but they need the break. Anyway, we'll talk about the Mariners. Apple Sox did it again to the fish sticks last night, too, when we get to sports. Speaking of sports, in the back half of the program, I had a chance to go to the Town Toyota Center and talk to Troy Mick and Chris Clark. Chris Clark, of course, is the head coach of the Wenatchee Wild. Troy Mick is helping gifting some billet families for the Wenatchee Wild. They need about 60 of them, not only for the Wild, the main team, but they have those lower division teams as well. With all the players coming in from out of state and out of town, they need a place to rest and relax, and when they're not skating, they need billet families. We'll talk about that with Clarky and Troy in the back half of the program. It's Thursday, Pause for Pets. Mother Gothel needs a home for the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Speaking of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, the hotel is full. No vacancies. We'll talk about that when we get to the news as well. Busy day. Beautiful morning. Lots of sunshine. 64 degrees. Going to be a beautiful stretch of weather. It's going to continue. Let's go ahead and get going. Let's not waste any more time. What do we have out there? That's what we have out there with our Wenatchee Heights camera. About 10 minutes ago, we were focused in on the Fred Meyer complex. They had a little bit of brush fire right off the highway, right by the gas pumps at Fred Meyer, but the Douglas County Fire District just put it right out. It's done now. All the smoke's gone. Don't know how the fire started. It wasn't much, but they knocked it right down. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley with East Wenatchee taking a bow this morning. Sunrise 5:19, 1 minute later than yesterday. Sunset 8:54, 1 minute earlier than yesterday. 15 hours and 35 minutes of daylight. We've lost about a half an hour of daylight. This is the longest day of the year back in June. Camera 2. Oh, yeah, that's got to be the monitor camera? That's the monitor camera looking towards Monitor and Cashmere. That's a beautiful view. I like that a lot. You can see the ditch, the irrigation ditch, doing its job, watering them trees. Cherries, peak of the harvest right now. Then we'll get into peaches and apricots and pears and apples towards the end of the growing season. A beautiful view from a monitor camera looking towards Monitor and eventually Cashmere, Washington, USA. You can see Stein Hill in the background and Mount Cashmere too. Camera number 3. Looks to be the number 1 Canyon camera on the west side of the river. Confirmation from Mr. Darby. That is correct. You can see a little sliver of the Wenatchee River and the sun. A little bit of glare on the lens there. That stretch of roadway that you see is 5th Street. That's running all the way down to the Columbia River, which is still fast and still cold and still high. And camera number 4. Speaking of cold and high, good morning, Lake Chelan, which is chilly. The water is cold, I'm told, in Lake Chelan. Now, I haven't checked the water temperature in a bit, but I understand it's a little on the side. That's from the Upper Butte camera, I'm assuming, Uriah, as we look back towards Wapato Point and Manson. In the background, a little bit of the state park on the left-hand side of your screen. And look how calm the water is. At Lake Chelan, they have a little saying for the locals up there. On Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when the tourists come and the jet skis and the boats are out and about, the lower end of Lake Chelan gets pretty choppy with all the activity. But right now, it's as smooth as, well, whatever analogy you choose to use. From the National Weather Service, a quick little look at temperatures around the region. Look where you live. Chelan, you're chiming in there with these are the highs and the lows right through the middle part of next week. Very summer-like weather. Our normal high this time of the year is now 88 degrees. We'll be hovering right around between 88 and about 92 for the most part. A little bit of a cool down on Sunday and Monday, but all in all, quite pleasant indeed. Sunny, warm, not real hot. And by the way, our low yesterday on Wednesday was 69 degrees, and that happened right before midnight. Right now it's 64 outside of our studios. So without any further ado, here we go from the National Weather Service. Sunshine, nice light wind today. They were expecting some stronger winds yesterday. That's not going to be the case. Just a nice light breeze. We'll top off at about 92, as you already saw. 62 for the overnight low tonight. We do it again on Friday. Lots of sunshine, just about 91, 92, right around there with a nice light wind. 62 for the overnight low Friday. Going to be a beautiful night at the ballpark tomorrow night. We're going to be at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium broadcasting the Corvallis Apple Sox game, and we're looking forward to that. Saturday, let's do it again. Sunday, let's do it again. This is the time of the year where Grant really doesn't have a lot of forecasting to do, and he likes that. Beautiful, beautiful weather, sunny, warm, not real hot, about as pleasant as it could possibly be to go out and do things. Around North Central Washington, vitamin D awaits. Get out and enjoy. That's a good-looking forecast. I like that. No inclement weather for the foreseeable future. It is 6 minutes after the hour. After a 1 minute break, we will have your Thursday morning news, and there is a lot of it. It's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Beautiful morning, sunshine, 64 degrees. It's about 90 today, 90 tomorrow. Right around that 90-degree mark, maybe a couple degrees warmer here and there, depending on where you're at, right through the middle of next week. Almost 8 minutes after the hour. In the last 4 days, first responders have been summoned to count them, 5 water rescues on the Wenatchee River near Leavenworth, including one on Tuesday night that resulted in a drowning. Firefighters say a woman in her 40s died after struggling with her float tube near the Barn Beach Reserve. It's the first drowning death on that stretch of the river this year, the third in Chelan County as a whole. An assistant fire chief with the Leavenworth Department told us that such incidents have become a lot more common than it used to be.
The victim was on a inner tube and missed the Barn Beach exit point, which most tubes use as their final moorage as they come down the river. She lost control of her tube and was more concerned about getting her tube as it floated downriver. And during that period, she got into kind of a area just east of Barn Beach that is kind of the beginning of the rapids, and was subsequently retrieved by family members, and CPR was initiated immediately. Yeah, we were unfortunately not able to revive her. As soon as we got done with that call, we received yet another river rescue with 4 victims that were in distress floating down the river, which also missed the Barn Beach exit and got into the rapids. 6 years ago, these were pretty rare occurrences in the Leavenworth area, and we are becoming essentially inundated with these calls almost daily now during this period of the year. And of course, they're extremely resource dependent. Victims are moving large distances down the river and being swept away, which requires all these resources to be spread out throughout the river. It's kind of the new paradigm that we live in up here in Leavenworth.
Chief Broadacet tells us that if you're going to go out in the river, you got to be prepared. It's cold and it's swift. He says you got to wear a reliable personal flotation device. And second, be aware of the river conditions, your own swimming ability and rafting ability. And third, don't use those cheap, easily punctured tubes and rafts when you float the Wenatchee River, or any river for that matter. Chelan County will soon have a new set of flood basins to control the runoff off of Number 1 Canyon. County commissioners on Tuesday approved a $851,000 contract with KRCI Construction for work. It's going to begin a little bit later on this summer. The 4 new basins are meant to catch mud and debris during the heavy rain before the runoff can threaten homes and stormwater systems downstream towards the city of Wenatchee. The 4 new basins will work in tandem with the detention basins that were built a little bit lower down the canyon back in 2015. State Fish and Wildlife officials say 3 people faced charges for allegedly spear fishing for bass along the Lake Chelan shoreline recently. In the state of Washington, it is illegal to fish for game fish with a bow and arrow, a spear, or spear fishing gear unless authorized by special rules. Well, the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife said one of its officers saw 2 people snorkeling along a rocky shoreline that's popular place to fish for bass. A third person was fishing from the shoreline, who the wildlife officer said he watched pull a stringer from the water that had 3 smallmouth bass in it that, quote, had clear wounds from a spear gun, end quote. The officer said when he confronted the 3 people, they denied having any fish, and then he witnessed one of them, one of the snorkelers anyway, stashing the spear gun in the water before they swam to shore. The 3 have been referred to for charges for avoiding a field inspection and for unlawful fishing. The drivers of both vehicles were hospitalized on Monday. A truck and a Link bus had an accident in West Wenatchee. Wenatchee Police Department Captain Brian Chance said the driver of the pickup was cited for following too closely, and that caused the accident at 3:10 in the afternoon on Monday at the intersection of Northwestern and Orchard. Chance said the pickup driver suffered a head injury after his airbag deployed. The driver of the bus had an undisclosed injury. Both were transported to Central Washington Hospital. Chance said no one else was hurt. The injuries to both drivers believed to be minor. Voters in the Eastmont School District will decide on a $185 million construction bond come November. The school board voted this week on Tuesday to greenlight it. They're going to put the second phase of the district's modernization program up for a public vote. It needs a 60% support to pass. The proposal would fund numerous projects at schools throughout the district, including the expansion of Cascade, Kenroy, Lee, and Rock Island elementary schools. The measure would cost property owners an additional 63 cents per $100,000 of the assessed value of their home over the life of the 20-year bond. And the animal shelter at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is full. That's the word from shelter managers. They're asking those who find stray animals to foster them at home until they got more space. The glut of unhoused animals also means the shelter is asking for donations of certain kinds of pet food and training toys. Taylor Sharp is the executive director of the Humane Society. She tells us the contracting economy is forcing more and more people to give up their pets.
Essentially, every 4th of July, around 4th of July, we get an influx of stray animals. There's lots of dogs who really don't appreciate the sound of fireworks, get scared, they bolt, they run. As much as we try to encourage people to, put their pet in a safe space, do all of that, we still get an influx. So around 4th of July, we got more than 25 dogs. We are also in kitten season, so cats tend to have their litters all at the exact same time, and while they're incredibly cute, they come in high volume. So we have a lot of kittens as well, but it's primarily dogs with the strays. The number one reason we are receiving animals at our shelter right now is economic impact. People, their rent went up, and they no longer can afford their rent, and they can't find a place that's pet-friendly, which it's by far the number one reason we have people come in. So a lot of the dogs that we have come in are those larger dogs that don't meet weight restrictions, which is really, really challenging here. And our hearts break for them. We do everything we can to keep animals in their homes. But unfortunately, when it comes to housing, there's not that much that we can help with. It's the number one reason for intake across the country right now. Shelters all across the country are struggling to have capacity to get these animals into homes. So if you find a dog that you really like, it fits in your family, still to bring it to us. We have to scan for a microchip. We look for a license and all of that. And then if they are required to do a stray hold, they can't go home at that point. We vaccinate them. We make sure we do an intake exam to make sure they're healthy, and then we provide all the supplies if you're willing to foster them for that 72-hour hold period. We need various supplies. We provide a lot of treats to make animals' stays here as good as possible. So Kongs, wet canned food for dogs and cats is always appreciated. And then if you have extra pet food laying around that's still in its original packaging, we will take that. We do a pet food pantry for those that are facing some economic challenges. We provide pet food once a month, the last Saturday of every month, and it's a huge boost to our community. Our numbers for that have essentially doubled in the last year of how many people we support, how many people and pets we support.
That's what's making news on this Thursday, and we will have a newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. You can watch it on television at those 3 times. You can also watch the news at your convenience by going to our Facebook page or our home page, so you're not locked into those 3 times. With a preview of tonight's news, the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we'll have our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Hot weather expected again today and tomorrow with slightly cooler temperatures this weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Grantstrom will bring us the latest on the Mariners Nationals series, as well as what happened last night with the Apple Sox and the Fish Sticks. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. You got a news tip? You want to drop us a note and say hi? There's a little preview of what we have coming up in sports. You can use our Facebook page. You can use our email address. You can use our telephone number. Well, you can't use our telephone number. We already use it. I think you know what I'm talking about. If you want to chime in, got a news tip, get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you. When we come back, Mariners win. Apple Sox win. I like saying that. I'll say it again in a minute. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Bob's Burgers and Brews in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy great food, great service, and a great time. Only the best for our guests. We look forward to serving you. Stop on by today.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high-energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Sports at 18 minutes after the hour. The Mariners have now won 10 straight games for the first time in nearly 20 years. Seattle won the first end of their doubleheader against the Nationals in our nation's capital 6-4. The Mariners hitting 4 home runs in the game, starting in the very first inning with a 3-run bomb by Genio Suarez.
That is crushed. Deep left field. The Mariners have an early lead. 3-0 Seattle. Hey now, Gino with a 3-run homer, his 16th of the season, takes his RBI total to 47. 2 walks, make him pay. Pretty well stroked. Deep right center field. And it is gone! A home run for Jesse Winker. His 7th of the season, and the Mariners have a 4-0 lead. A 2-home run day for Seattle. Mariners, when they get 4 or more. That is an impressive number. That's gone. Wow. Adam Frazier telling me yesterday it's coming, I'm due, and it's working today. 2 for 2, a single, and now a home run. The Mariners have a 5-0 lead. That's his 3rd home run. That's hit well. Right field. Got some carry. Gone. Home run, Cal Raleigh. 6-1 Mariners. For the Mariners, their 4th home run today. For Cal, home run number 12, RBI number 32.
Driven out to left center.
He did.
This ball's traveling. It's into the bullpen. A 3-run home run off the bat of Juan Soto. And the Nationals have gotten closer now with 2 outs here in the 9th.
That's his combination.
1-2 to Cruz. Fly ball. Coming in, Dylan Moore, and the Mariners have won Game 1 of 2 here in Washington, D.C.
Eric Swanson and former Apple Sock Tommy Malone held the Nationals in check in Game 2. Jesse Winker hit the ball hard.
Winker, line drive. Deep right field. Bye-bye! Jesse Winker gives the Mariners a 1-0 lead. It's their 5th home run today. For Wink, his 8th of the season, RBI number 35. You can hear all the Mariner fans here in D.C. His 2nd home run today.
So that's 2 games in a row now for Winker, coming off that suspension, and this is a pitch that's down in his wheelhouse. Looked like something off speed and almost the same spot as he hit it this morning, or in the day game, right there in that right center field area, and really gave it a ride.
Cishek with the Mariners back in the 17th season. That will get it plenty done. Robles, a long run. He gets it. JP scores. And Manny having Santana hold at 3rd. Well done by Adam Frazier to pick up that run with the sac fly. 2-0 Mariners.
Watch Soto. An absolute moonshot to right. That ball was demolished. His 4th home run in 5 games, and I'm shocked that thing finally came down.
See what he goes with. 3-2, backdoor, got him! And the Mariners win it 2-1. It's their 8th win by that count this season. It's their 10th consecutive win, 7 consecutive series wins. They're 5 games, Dan Wilson, 5 games beyond 500. How about that?
Outstanding ball game, outstanding job by Paul Sewald. As they get the celebrations in, the dancing out there in the infield.
And the outfielders have their little ritual, so the infielders said, hey, we want a piece of that.
10 straight wins for only the 4th time in franchise history and the first time since 2002. Back then, they won 15 in a row in the month of May and June. The Mariners are 18-3 in their past 21 games. It's the best record in the majors during that span and the best single season 21-game stretch ever. In franchise history, Mariners are in Texas. 4-game series against the Rangers begins at 5:05 tonight on Root Sports Northwest. Speaking of the Rangers, they're coming into today's game off a 5-2 win over Oakland last night. Former Mariner Brad Miller hitting a 2-run base hit in the 5-run first inning, and that was enough for the Rangers. And in Anaheim, Shohei Ohtani had a 2-run triple at the plate and struck out 12 over 6 innings on the mound to lead the Angels past the Astros 7-1. Ohtani improved his record to 9-4. His ERA is now just 2.38. Break out the tartar sauce. Apple Sox sweeping the Fish Sticks last night. 20 more runs. 20-6 the final. Wenatchee bringing 16 men to the plate in a 12-run second inning. With more details, the voice of the Apple Sox, our friend Storm and Joel Norman.
The Apple Sox picked up a 20-6 victory on Wednesday night to sweep the 2-game non-league set against the Dub C Fish Sticks at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. It all got started on Tuesday night with the Apple Sox winning Game 1 of the brief 2-game set with a 22-2 victory, and then they continued the offense pretty early on and often in Wednesday's game. Wenatchee scored 12 runs in the second inning. It all got started with Enzo Apodaca blasting a solo shot for his first home run of any type, league or non-league this season. And then later on in the ball game, Grant Sherrod would hit a 2-run homer to score 2 of the 3 runs in the 7th inning. Sherrod has now blasted 3 home runs this season, 2 of them in 3 non-league games. The Apple Sox are off on Thursday, but back in action with a gigantic series on Friday night. They will host the Corvallis Knights at 6:35 p.m. It's the first ever game for Ed Nags, the former head coach of the Apple Sox, as a visitor at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. He's the associate head coach with the Knights, and it's a huge series for the Apple Sox. With the Kamloops Northpaws losing on Wednesday night, they've lost 5 in a row, and Wenatchee is a half a game back of second place in the West Coast League's North Division in terms of overall record. As far as the standings for the second half, the Apple Sox are in a really good spot in a playoff position right now, but looking to add to it and potentially have home field advantage in the first round. Lots to determine still this season, but a crucial weekend coming up for the Apple Sox. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thanks, Joel. Joey Chiro Oyama contributed 6 RBIs in the game. If he hit a home run last night, he would have had the cycle. He didn't, by the way. So, yeah, no baseball today. Then we'll be hosting Corvallis the first of 3 on Friday, and we will have Friday night's game live right here on the NCAA Live channel tomorrow night at 6:30. All right, to the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. Let's see. Jacob Sharp and Isaac Lovings homered for Ridgefield. They beat Bellingham 12-3. Victoria knocked off Nanaimo 6-4, as you see there. P.Y. Choi and Riley Parker each drove in 2 runs for Port Angeles. They knocked off Kelowna. Josh Williams 3 for 5. Walla Walla over Bend. The final there was 9-2. Nick Upstill's RBI doubled at the top of the 9th, provided Portland the room it would need. They knocked off Springfield 7-6. Yakima Valley got only 4 hits, but they also got 7 walks, so they beat Kamloops 7-3. Edmonton knocked off Corvallis, and in a non-league game, it was Cowlitz over the Northwest Star Academy. And finally, hey, Wenatchee Wild. Season will be here before you know it. The Wenatchee Wild will play 8 games on the road before they finally come home to the Town Toyota Center on October 21st against West Kelowna. Of course, we'll have more of the Wild in the back half of the program. Head coach Chris Clark and developmental teams head coach Troy Mick will talk with me. We'll talk about the upcoming season, Cade Littler getting drafted, and how you can be a billet family. That conversation in the back half of this very program this morning. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 26 minutes after the hour, happy International Nude Day. Whenever I'm sitting at my workstation, you always have to be a little leery. Okay, I'm working on the obscure holiday for tomorrow's show. What happens if I type in International Nude Day on my search bar? So I just went with that. I want to keep my job, and I certainly want this station to keep their FCC license. There are any kind of benefits to not wearing any clothes. They say walking barefoot stimulates the neurons in your brain, and it could ward off Alzheimer's. That's a theory. Anyway, going buck naked means your skin is exposed to the sun's rays, which brings more vitamin D into your body. Other fun facts about your body: wisdom teeth serve no purpose at all, of course. They're left over from hundreds of thousands of years ago. The brain got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the wisdom teeth kind of got crowded out. We don't need them anymore. Yank them. Get them out of there. Humans are the only animals with chins. Bet you didn't know that. Skin is the largest organ in the body. It comprises 15% of your total weight. Your blood composes 8% of your total weight. And if you didn't have a nose, you'd only have one cheek. You ever think about that? International Nude Day today. Close the blinds, 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, it's a holiday in France. Everybody gets the day off. It's Bastille Day. That'd be French Revolution. The storming of the Bastille, right in the middle of Paris. It was, of course, symbolic of the monarchy, the fortress. There were only 7 prisoners in the Bastille when they stormed it. It's not like it was full of prisoners, only 7. It was more of symbolic more than anything else. But for the revolutionaries, hey, the monarchy's got to go, and if they're not going to step down, we'll just help them right along. They stormed the Bastille, July the 14th, 1789, 233 years ago today. Essentially, this is France's July 4th, if you will. 224 years ago today. It's hard to believe, but for 3 years early in this country's history, it was actually against the law. It was a federal crime to write, publish, or utter false or malicious statements about the United States government. It was called the Sedition Act. It actually passed by Congress and was signed into law by President John Adams. It had a 3-year expiration date, and they just let it expire after 3 years. Thank goodness. John Adams supported it. Thomas Jefferson didn't. And in the next election, that was pretty much the crux of the issues. And Thomas Jefferson won, and John Adams lost. The Sedition Act came into effect on this date in 1798. It's gone. You would think nowadays, if you landed a plane on the south lawn of the White House, you would probably be killed, certainly arrested, shot at. They frown on people landing airplanes on the south lawn of the White House. But Harry Atwood did it 111 years ago on this date. In 1911, he landed his airplane on the south lawn of the White House. They didn't shoot Harry Atwood. They didn't arrest him. The president, President Taft, gave him a medal. Hey, that's pretty cool. Here's a medal. Wonder how he took off. Anyway, Harry Atwood landed his airplane on the south lawn of the White House on this date, got a medal for doing it. Don't try it again. And this is the 53rd anniversary of the famous football war. Things have been brewing between Honduras and El Salvador for quite some time. Honduras was 5 times the size of El Salvador, but El Salvador had 5 times as many people as Honduras. And so the El Salvadorans kept crossing the border and moving into Honduras. And by 1969, about 20% of the population of Honduras was actually El Salvadorans. It didn't go over very well. Then they had a soccer match, a World Cup qualifier. It didn't go over very well. Honduras lost the soccer match, and eventually these two countries went to war. Didn't last very long. Everything fell out, but this flashpoint for all of this was a soccer match. Now, we know there are some parts on this planet in Latin America that they take soccer very seriously, but go to war over that? Anyway. 31 minutes after the hour, birthdays, A.B. Happy Chandler. Born this day in 1898, died in 1991 at the age of 92. He was the governor of Kentucky, but the most important thing he did, he was the second commissioner of Major League Baseball after Kennesaw Mountain Landis died in office. The owners voted in A.B. Happy Chandler, and the first thing A.B. Happy Chandler did is he told Branch Rickey, if you want to bring up Jackie Robinson to the Brooklyn Dodgers and integrate the national pastime, you can do it. Kennesaw Mountain Landis stopped him, but he wasn't there anymore. He was dead, and A.B. Happy Chandler said, if the guy's good enough to play baseball at major leagues, what am I to say no? That was his. It wasn't just Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson. A.B. Happy Chandler, as the commissioner of baseball, played a significant role in the integration of our national pastime. Woody Guthrie, born in the state in 1912, died very young at the age of 55 in 1967. This land is your land. Roll on, Columbia, pastures of plenty, the Grand Coulee Dam, Worried Man Blues, the Dust Bowl Ballads, the legendary Woody Guthrie, born in the state in 1912. We always do presidents. The 38th president of the United States, Gerald R. Ford, born on this date in 1913, died the day after Christmas in 2006 at the age of 93. The only person to serve as vice president and president without being elected to either office. He served, his presidency was 895 days long, 895 days, which made him the shortest presidency of anybody who didn't actually die in office. He was born Leslie Lynch King. He was raised by his stepfather after his parents divorced. Gerald Ford, the only president ever who was an Eagle Scout and a great American. 33 minutes after the hour, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, Troy Mick, and Chris Clark for the Wenatchee Wild in our interview segment. But first, Mother Gothel needs a home. It's Pause for Pets with the Humane Society.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley and I'm with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and with me this week is Mother Gothel. Mother Gothel came to us as a mama cat with some of her kittens, and her kittens have all been adopted, and she is left. She is extremely sweet. She loves hanging out in people's laps. She explores every place that she goes and rubs on it and makes it her own space. She's a very sweet, confident cat, and we estimate that she would be good with other cats. You, of course, would want to do a slow introduction if you wanted to add her to your existing bunch. Here at the shelter, she's pretty sweet and quiet. She does talk a lot when she wants attention or food. Food is one of her great motivators, but she also thrives off of attention. If you are interested in meeting and adopting Mother Gothel, come on down to the shelter. We are open 6 days a week. We are closed Wednesdays, but we are open from 11 to 6 and closed 1:30 to 2:30 for quiet time.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Had a surgery? Been in a car accident? Suffer from weekend warrior activities? Let Mount Stewart Physical Therapy and Chiropractic work out your aches and pains. This is Dr. Wayne Latimer. We've extended our multi-care practice to Mount Stewart Physical Therapy in Leavenworth. So, physical therapy and chiropractic. And whether you want to lift to get fit or you want to stay fit after your physical therapy, Balance Point Health and Fitness Gym is always open daily. Dr. Latimer Chiropractic Multi-Care Clinics, where we strive to do more, so you can too.
Welcome to Click It RV. How can I help you?
We're looking to trade in our tent for a new RV.
Perfect. Let's take a look. Water heater? Nope. Does it have a queen bed? No. Does it have a bathroom? No. How about air conditioning? Nope. Well, you're in luck. We have the perfect solution for you. We'll give you $1,000 for it.
What?
What?
That's right. At Click It RV in July, trade your tent in for an extra $1,000 towards your RV purchase. Come see us today.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
Is your recliner as comfortable as this? Does it have lumbar support? The new technology in power recliners is simply amazing.
Hi, can I help you?
Well, yes, I was just telling my friends.
Oh, about the great selection of recliners we have here at Boswell's? It's true. We have everything from pushback recliners to power recliners with all the latest features.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, you hear sometimes how many Europeans speak more than one language when we Americans only speak English. Now, this has probably started to point out just how parochial and unsophisticated we Americans are. Well, Europe and the U.S. have similar land masses, but Europe has about 23 countries and about 50 different recognized languages. Now, most Europeans travel around to different countries and that kind of stuff, where most Americans travel around in America and may never go to Europe. So why do we need to know more than one language? Okay? Most Americans to speak only English is hardly an indication of a lack of intelligence or sophistication. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion.
The 2022 Grant County Fair in Moses Lake is bigger and better than ever. Washington's largest egg-based fair features hundreds of animals, amazing food, and the Davis Carnival rides. And if that isn't enough, see supergroup Lone Star and country standout Cameron Marlowe on the Brian Miller stage. Come celebrate a return to normalcy with Stars, Stripes, and Fair Delights at the 2022 Grant County Fair. For tickets and more info, visit grantcountyfairgrounds.com.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can use this one.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's the middle of July. Of course, the obvious thing to talk about is wild hockey. Chris Clark is back again. Troy is back again. We haven't talked to these gentlemen since May when they had, of course, camp here in the big city. Clarky, it's good to see you, my friend. You're looking good.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us. It's always good to be on.
Let's we need to catch up. So let's start with first of all the Fred Page Cup, which was still going on the last time the three of us visited. No surprise, the V's they rolled through everybody and they took care of the Clippers in the final. You predicted this. You called this when we talked. You said they're the best team in the league and they should win it. And
they had a great season. They had a real deep roster, probably the deepest roster I can remember Penticton having in a long time. So they did beat Nanaimo and take nothing away from Nanaimo. Nanaimo had a great year too, and but Penticton kind of just had all the pieces this past year, and I'm not going to say I was happy for them, but they did win. So it was a great year for the league. I think I just saw a number that said we came 2 away from the record for college commitments for the league. Obviously, the draft just happened. I know we're going to get into that. Had 8 or 9 kids with ties to the BCHL drafted. So it was a great year for the BCHL. I'm looking forward to turning the page now to 22-23 and restoring the roar, as we like to say it around here.
Yeah, we got the great press release from Gretchen Littler and Bliss, who are proud parents. Speaking of the draft, Cade got selected in the 7th round by the Calgary Flames. His future is looking bright. What does that mean for the Wild organization, knowing that one of your top players is going to be coming back and eventually going to school? But that's got to make you feel pretty good too, doesn't it?
Yeah, anybody that knows Cade knows how hard Cade has worked. I've gotten to see it firsthand for the last 10 years. When he was a young kid on the ice at 9 in the morning, no pucks on the ice, no nets, just him by himself working on his skating. His dedication to the sport is second to none. So to see him get rewarded and get drafted, I think the whole organization is very proud of Cade and happy for Cade, and that's a huge accomplishment for him.
Did you have any idea going into draft day that were there teams looking at him? Was it a complete surprise when your cell phone rang at the golf course and that Cade was drafted?
No, I don't think it was a complete surprise. I think you saw enough teams come in here throughout the year. Obviously, he was ranked on the final rankings by Central Scouting, who's kind of oversees the whole draft. So it wasn't a surprise, but a ton of excitement on the day that he got the call, and just continuing to check our phones. And I've never been so happy to shoot a 108 or whatever I shot on the golf course. I don't remember a single bad shot that day because it was so much excitement for Cade and his family, and again, all the work he's put in. So well deserving for him.
What does that mean for the Wild? He's coming back, obviously, come late summer, early fall. He's still committed to play college. So as far as the next couple of years, it doesn't really affect the Wild a great deal, his hockey future, right? He's still going to be hanging around for a while.
Yeah, so he'll be here next year. And then obviously, when you get to junior hockey, everything's a year by year, right? You play your year out. When that year is over, you see what's next. Obviously now with Cade, he's going to have Minnesota State Mankato. He's going to have the Calgary Flames to kind of help him in that guidance process to what's next. But basically, Calgary will own his rights until I think it's July 1st of his junior year of college. So basically just extends Cade's runway a little bit, and he's looking at the next 4 to 5 years, hopefully becoming a pro, getting to college first, seeing what happens at the college level, and then like I said, until he's a junior, the Calgary Flames have his rights, and it's a great accomplishment, and it's nice to know that you're wanted.
He strikes me also as an emotionally mature guy for just a teenager. He seems to have his act together. A lot of 17, 18-year-olds don't, but he seems to.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. You talk to him. He's a very mature kid. Obviously, he's got two great parents that have led him in the right direction, and I talk about it all the time. Like, I don't know many 17, 18-year-olds that are done their workout and they're on ice training by 10 o'clock each morning. I mean, I don't know 40-year-olds that are done everything by 10 a.m. So for him, he's a very dedicated kid. He's a very mature kid. He thinks things out, but he is very goal-driven, and he had a lot of goals this year, and I'm glad to see that he got to check another one off with being drafted, obviously getting his college commitment. It was a great year for him, but one thing I know about Cade is that he's not going to be satisfied. He knows that this is just the next step in the process, and he's going to work just as hard, if not harder, today than he did yesterday, because that's just his mentality.
A couple of months ago, the three of us got together right at the opening of camp at the rink next door. How did it go? How did it talk about those 3-4 days and the scrimmages and the games?
Yeah, it was great. It was Coach Mendelson, Coach Rudrud, Bliss. They did a great job getting the right players here. They made for some very difficult decisions, and it was a highly competitive camp. It was, even though it's summer hockey and it's always hard to implement or reenact what you like in the season, I thought for summer hockey it was very competitive and very entertaining, and we're going to bring probably 27, 28 kids back start of September, and then our schedule's been released. Our preseason schedule's been released. We'll have 2 home games here the first weekend of September, and then we're going on a 7-day road trip to the Midwest where we're going to play some USHL teams, and it'll be a great opportunity for us not only to play Trail, who's a great team, but those 3 USHL teams, and spend a bunch of time on the road together and become a tight-knit group.
One more question, then we'll bring Troy into it because I think he's starting to nod off over here in the corner. Before I forget, as you mentioned before, the schedule is out and all that stuff. What was your final marching orders to the team at the close of camp? You know that you're going to bring back 25, 26 guys. What's your closing instructions, what they need to do over the next 3 months before they gather back here again in late summer?
They need to do everything they can to be ready to go come September 1. Expectations are rising. Obviously, we were very proud of the young group we had and the way we finished the year last year. I think after Christmas, we were playing some really good hockey. Obviously, took Salmon Arm, who was one of the best teams in our league, to 7 games with a very young roster. But, you know, the Restore the Roar slogan is very, very indicative of what our expectations are. They're rising. We want to get back to where we're accustomed to being, which is a top team in the league. And in order for us to do that, we need all of us, our staff, the players, to really have good summers so that when we get here September 1st or September 2nd, we're prepared to go and give ourselves the best chance to come out of the gates hot and ready to go.
Speaking of September 1st, September 2nd, August 1st, August 2nd, the Wild, of course, and it's a Wild family, and if you want to be a part of the Wild family, and I know I'm not using that word as a joke, it is a family, become a billet family, and this is where Troy steps into our conversation. The kids need a bed, they need to eat. They're not really hanging around your house a lot. They're usually here or working out or together on the road. Talk about the advantages of being a billet family for an incoming Wild player and some of the younger developmental teams as well.
I think it all starts with being part of the program. Without billet families in Wenatchee, there's no junior team, there's no development teams. It really is the lifeline of a junior hockey team. And to talk to billet families, not only do they have the lifetime experiences with the players because, you know, they come in this year, maybe they come back for next year, but reality is they probably got a relationship for the next 30 years of their lives. They become role models if there's younger kids in the house, but I also think it adds a little bit more to the games when the billet families actually get to see what the kids look like without their helmet on, what these kids actually do every day. And I think a lot of fans and family really don't understand the commitment that these young teenagers are doing every day to get an education by playing the game they love. I mean, they're up first thing in the the morning, they're doing schoolwork, they're going to practices, they're going to the gym, back to schoolwork, home for dinner, and maybe if they have a little free time for a little gaming. But other than that, it is a very structured situation. The kids aren't in your home for 12 hours a day, sitting and gaming all day. They're not doing any of that kind of stuff. These are committed student athletes that want to play for the Wild one day from the development team, and the Wild players are trying to get to the college level. And I think, our expectations for them is do something more than you did yesterday. And I think you never rely on what you did yesterday to make yourself better. And I think by having the homes that we do in Wenatchee is amazing. Like, we need approximately 60 beds every year. I don't know if there's another organization in North America that needs 60 beds, and we're proud to say that that's one thing about this community that I'm so proud of. And being the new guy, is that not only is it tough just to get 23 beds for the junior A team, we need 60 beds. So that just says a lot about the community, the pride for this program.
And Clarkie has mentioned this, when you bring in Wild players, it's as much character as it is talent, isn't it? And that's a part of it.
Well, they probably wouldn't play for Clarkie or the Wild if they weren't a good person. A kid can score 50 goals, but if his family doesn't have the right upbringing, if the kid is, a me attitude, he'll never play here. And I think it's so important now when you bring in the social media component. We always look at more than just what they do on the ice. The on-ice product's probably the easiest thing. Our job is to make sure they're good people, good human beings, good teammates, and more importantly, going to be proud to be part of the Wenatchee community, because we're going to be here for the next 20, 30, 40 years. That player may only be here for a year or two, and we're never going to take a chance and jeopardize that by bringing somebody in that is a bad character. So I think that's so important. They become even better people by being in this great community of Wenatchee.
I've met a lot of billet families. They usually, with a couple of exceptions, they fall into two categories. The ones with kids who get into hockey, and these Wild players become role models for the younger kids. And then you have the older couples who might be empty nesters, and all of a sudden they find themselves with a spare bedroom or two and nobody's staying in, and they want to hang around the younger kids and make them feel younger. That's what I've noticed over the years.
Well, yeah, and a lot of kids by coming to the games want to try public skating. So they go from public skating, then they go to stick and puck, and now they get involved with the youth program just because of the Wild program itself. So it encompasses so many things, and I think being a billet family, it's just, for me, I was a billet player. When I played with the Portland Winterhawks and played in the BCHL. I had to billet, and I'm still in contact with a lot of them. When I played in Portland, I've got probably 3 or 4 great families, and I get to go to the Nike employee store because I'm 53 now, and this is when I was 18, so I've got relationships over 30 years with my billet families, and to this day, Facebook, text messages, you travel around, go to stay different places, different people's homes. That's just the other underlying component people don't really see, is that you've got lifelong relationships, and and they get a monthly stipend to help pay for the food with them as well, and I think it's just an opportunity to really give us a try. I think if you have any information, obviously give myself or Clarkie a call, because I just think, if you're teetering whether you want to do it again, I guarantee at the end of the year you'll be thanking us, because it'll be a relationship that you're going to want to do for the next coming years.
And I'll tell you from personal experience, I've talked to billet families, not only for the Wenatchee Wild, but for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. I've never met a billet family who regretted their decision to bring in a player. Not one, ever. Did they come back and say, boy, I wish I hadn't done that. They always enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know what? And I think that's just part of the whole environment. Right? We have our rules that are set up. Like, we have curfew every night for these kids. It's not like they're allowed to go out or go out drinking or anything like that. It's so structured that, you'll see a lot of these kids go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, just because of the fact that they're so busy during the day. This is totally different than what you can think of. They're so structured, and you probably don't even have to say anything. They know their upbringing. They know where they want to eventually play. So they know that, character is something that you can't buy.
And one of these days, you'll be watching a hockey game. You see that defenseman for the St. Louis Blues? He lived with us, Joey. Remember that? You never know, do you?
It's such a, and that's kind of the thrill thing. The NHL free agencies today, and we had a lot of the Wild player that are at camps and everything else. So it's just pretty special when that family helped get that player there. You might not help him on the ice, but you've helped him become who he is today and where he is today.
Clarkie, I'll let you take it home, because I always do. I know it's the dog days of summer, but Wild hockey is going to be here before you know it, and I can feel the excitement just sitting next to you, kind of giving off a little bit of a vibe there, buddy. I'll let you take it home. Season tickets, Wild fans, bring back the roar. Bring it home for our viewers.
Yeah, like you talked about it, once you get past July 1st, it kind of seems like you blink and then all of a sudden it's September 1st and season's going to be here. Obviously, season tickets are on sale. We touched on the billeting. Can't reiterate that enough. We need more quality billet families. Please, like Troy said, even if you have questions or you're somewhat interested and you just want to hear a little bit more about it, talk to one of the two of us, talk to both of us, let us come to your house, let us give you more information. I promise you it will be an experience that lasts a lifetime. We talked about the NHL side. I went to a former Billets retirement party this summer, and they had 3 former players come back, one of which who is a very high-ranking officer in the Air Force. Those kids were here 15 years ago. So it's an experience that will last a lifetime. They're doing lots of cool upgrades here in the arena for you guys to see when the season does start. It's going to be a great year. We're excited to restore the roar and can't wait to see the Wild Faithful behind us packed and ready to go come September.
Did you ever think 12, 13, 14 years ago when this franchise fired up that this would become a hockey town?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
You know what? You never know at the start, but it didn't take long for me to realize that this is an unbelievable community that really supports this team, and we've been very blessed to have great coaches, great staff up front, great players, and great billet families that have kept great sponsors. It all plays in together, and to see where it is now, I'm very proud to call Wenatchee home and to say that I'm a part of this great organization.
If you got a room with a bed and a refrigerator, you're 3/4 of the way qualified. It ain't that hard. Get a hold of these two gentlemen. They'll walk you through the billet process. When do we get to see each other again? I don't want to spread these things out too thin. I want to be more of a part of the.
I know you'd probably see Troy whenever you could, but I will definitely make sure I call ahead. Okay.
Have a good time. Have a good time at the concert, my friend.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Brian's Pizza and Bowling is changing their name to That Pizza Place. Now, there's still your same favorite locally owned family pizza and bowling center, That Pizza Place. Come hang out in downtown Cashmere.
The NCW Life Channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life Channel today.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
All right, let's wrap it up where we began 58 and a half minutes ago. The forecast from the National Weather Service. Look at that. Gorgeous, beautiful, sunshine 92. Our normal high this time of the year is 88, so sunny, warm, not hot. A little light wind at times, I think we can handle. 62 for the overnight low tonight. Friday, more sunshine, about 91. It's going to be a little, I didn't mention this at the top of the show, a little breezy Friday night, not real big. West wind about 8 to 13 miles an hour. That's really about it. That's Friday night, 62 for the overnight low. Drop dead gorgeous weekend. Lots of sunshine on Saturday. High of about 90 degrees. Lots of sunshine. Sunday, about 90 degrees. Monday, 90, maybe a little warmer on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're under the influence of a high-pressure ridge. Although it's not particularly strong or well-entrenched, it's strong and well-entrenched enough to keep any kind of inclement weather out of here. And quite frankly, I'm all for that. We had that cold, wet spring, and finally we're getting to the other side of that coin. And I love it. Lots of sunshine. Good stuff. That's it for us. Have yourself a great Thursday. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.